Hi, my name's Collin Yarbrough, and I'm the author of Paved. It's a book about how infrastructure and public policy can sometimes create inequalities in our cities, and then how we can move forward to design more equitable cities in the future. This book explores the intersections of infrastructure, public policy, and race. So what inspired me to write this book is really stemming from a research paper in one of my graduate classes. I was exploring the context and impact of Central Expressway, which is a highway here in Dallas. And in my research, I found that in the 80s and 90s, when they were expanding Central Expressway, they moved 1,100 bodies from a freedmen's cemetery to make space for the expansion. And as soon as I found that out, I could not get that image out of my mind. What followed was really kind of a personal reckoning of the fact that I had driven past this location almost my entire life and not known the history of what was around me. I've spent the past 6 months researching highways and other infrastructure in Dallas to understand what it was that has shaped my hometown. I think the book does a couple of things. The first being it takes several of Dallas's infrastructure narratives and tries to show a pattern of how neighborhoods have been impacted over the years by those pieces of infrastructure. A lot of these things have been written about really well over the years, but my hope is that I can make some small effort to bring those narratives together into one place. The other thing that the book sort of serves as is a memoir in some aspects, because I'm still actively going through this journey of trying to understand my hometown. This book includes stories and insights from City of Dallas officials and other local and regional developers, planners, and architects, and also a national presence as well. Planners and architects from New York, Oakland, New Orleans, and all over that are creating these just cities where they live. One of my favorite stories in the book is of the Spence Avenue Block Partnership. And they were a small community in South Dallas. And when I-45 was being designed and built through South Dallas, there was an elevated portion that was going right through their community. And they weren't actively a part of the design process. There were no access ramps or other benefits that would serve this community when the construction was finished. And so they were able to raise their voice, garner support from Dallas City Council and other community, state, and national organizations, and get their voices and needs met. They were able to bring the elevated portion of that part of I-45 down to grade, and it's this beautiful story of how a small community is able to use their voice and fight like hell to have a stake in their infrastructure future. My hope for the book is that it will open eyes to the ways that we take infrastructure for granted on a daily basis, and how that infrastructure may have a deeper history than what we usually give it at face value. You'll enjoy this book if you like understanding the history of cities or understanding the ways that public policy can either serve or not serve the citizens of their cities, and if you like understanding how space and place play a role in our everyday lives. My name is Collin Yarbrough, and my book is about how infrastructure can create inequalities in our cities.